Hello there, Aquarius, and welcome to your February reading. I hope that this month is getting off to a great start for you. Really great to see you again, and I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of information comes through for your sign. If you're brand new to this channel, just a reminder that you can use this for your sun, your rising, and also for your moon sign. With that being said, I like to start off every reading with some channeled information, and I come to this channeled information when I meditate on your sign and select a deck of cards that I'm going to use for the reading. As I was tuning into your sign, the message I got was making one small change can actually really have a ripple effect across your life. So I would like to challenge you this month to try to change up your routine. It can be any part of your routine. Something as small as taking a different route home from work, if you walk your dog, walking them on a different street, if you're used to eating a certain sort of food, trying something different, stepping outside of your comfort zone. This is going to open you up to new opportunities. It might also help you see or meet new people. And so I want you just to make some small, subtle tweaks week by week or even day by day if you're feeling adventurous, and try some new things. And then let me know how that works for you. All right, let's now take a look at the cards and see what they have to say. Before I do that, let me just run down the format. I start off with a Celtic cross, which I'll be pulling in just a moment. Then I expand that to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. All right, I'm going to shuffle the cards, and at this point I like to remain quiet just so that I can observe the cards and the energy. Okay, let's now take a look at what I call a catalyst. This catalyst card is going to connect everything that we see in front of us, and it also helps the month's energy begin. So let's see what the catalyst is for this month. So we have a card, the message. This message card has to do with communication and also sort of decrypting or taking apart what the message means. So first thing that I see when I'm looking at this is don't read too much into certain things. So sometimes especially if we're looking at something that's been written down and we don't have the benefit of hearing it from the author's point of view, hearing their voice, seeing their face, understanding what the intention is, sometimes we can jump to a conclusion that it might be more favorable or less favorable than it actually is. So my first suggestion would be check your assumptions, have another person listen to what you think might be going on, and you can kind of use them as a sounding board. The other thing is, as you craft your own messages this month, you want to be careful as well and really try to think how the other person would feel on the receiving end, even if they don't always do that for you. Finally, for some of you, this will be a month where you're kind of playing a waiting game. As I look at this message in a bottle, for those of you that might be applying for work or have sent a note to someone, don't overreact if you don't hear back. I think that there's just a little bit of lag time in communication, okay? Let's go ahead now and take a look at all of the cards and their positions in the spread on the table here. Right at the center, and this has kind of been a theme this month, a lot of Four of Cups, and most of them are around the center here, but we have the Four of Cups card in reverse, and the Four of Cups card is indicative of a situation where you wish things could be better. It's a dreaming card, but not a card where you're dreaming of your future. It's one where you think, gosh, how did this happen? Or why can't I make that happen? It's sort of, sometimes you beat yourself up with it. Sometimes you want what other people have. Sometimes you just don't want what you have. And so the challenge in this Four of Cups card is to see there's always one cup that's hidden. And this tells me that there's an opportunity, that things might be better than they seem, or that you might have a way to improve your situation. You can also try exercising gratitude. And one way to do this is to create a gratitude journal, but you don't need to make something so work-oriented. You could just start each day off with a simple thought of one thing that you are grateful for. It can be very small, such as, I am grateful for the ability to walk. I'm grateful for the ability to be able to pay my bills, to eat, to take care of myself. Use these small things, and then you can go to much bigger blessings. It's easier sometimes to start with the basics, and then it starts to sort of be contagious, and all of a sudden you realize of all the blessings that are in your life. That will help diminish the reversal of that Four of Cups, and it will also help you understand that there are still things that you can take advantage of. There are still things that are waiting and hoping that you will give them attention. So sometimes it's children in your life, sometimes it's opportunities, sometimes it's just your own heart's desires that you haven't really tuned into. So give yourself a chance this month just to look at the positives and acknowledge the negatives, but realize that your positives are probably stronger, and if you gravitate towards that, then they become what you're focusing on instead. So it's a little bit of a reprogramming with your mind. Right over top of that, we have Nine of Pentacles. This is a great card if you've been struggling to really get an understanding of what your financial situation is. And you'll read, I usually don't look at all the titles or the captions on this, but this one says gain. It's actually one of the best pentacle cards when you're looking like from 1 through 9. Of course, I'd rather you have either the ace or the 10, but the Nine of Pentacles is really good. What this means is independence, self-sufficiency, and sustainability. So I feel like even though you may not be completely happy with your job, your financial situation, or whatever's going on with your resources, it is something that's enough, or quite possibly more than enough. So if that's the case, be grateful for that, and we'll look at the other cards and see how else you can kind of help temper this emotion. All right, let's take a look now at the other cards surrounding that. In the deep past, you have the Eight of Wands. It's in reverse. The way to bring this into equilibrium is simply to slow down a little bit. Take stock, figure out if you really want to do everything that's on your plate. Also, take time to check in with friends, with loved ones, with neighbors, because this can be a card where you get so busy and so caught up in your own routine that time passes by. You notice that this actually says swiftness, and before you know it, you're either calling someone because it's an emergency, or because you need something, or because you just don't even remember what their number is, so you're trying to figure out how to contact them. So don't let so much time go by that you actually don't know what to say to someone. Slow down, check in with someone, and if people around you are actually losing track of you, this is also a chance for you to realize where you stand in their lives. So you can try checking in, and if they don't answer back, this might be a subtle cue for you to move your energy to people that are more receptive. Now, on the positive here, we have the Three of Pentacles card, one that's almost universally good, even in its reverse state. In its upright state, it's usually a card of completion or mastery. And the other thing is that there's a recognition that comes along with the Three of Pentacles. So some of you have been working really hard to just be better in your lives, or you've been trying to really improve your overall understanding of what your purpose is, what you want to do. And so my encouragement is to continue doing that. The reversal of this card could either come when you've finished something and you think, now what? Or if you're wondering if you're on the right track. The best thing you could do is maybe use someone else as a sounding board, talk to someone, check in, and then also, if in your heart it feels good, it's right. Don't second guess yourself too much on this. And for some of you, this can also indicate graduation or a really great event around the corner. So keep up the hard work. Your crowning card is Three of Cups. You know, I was mentioning here in your channeled information that I wanted you to change your routine. One of the things you could do is maybe make more time for friends, loved ones, and fun activities in your life. This can be anything. This is attached to water. Maybe that's swimming. Maybe that's going near the water or the beach if you're in a warm climate. If you're in a cooler climate, this Three of Cups is simply a socializing card. So make time to reach out to friends that you haven't talked to in a while. And also, you know, as I'm looking at the deep past, this is a heavy work card. And you notice this person is trying to keep up with everything. So it's good to occasionally have a day where your plan is to rest. You don't have to have a checklist. You could just catch up on sleep. You could simply go, go somewhere and watch a movie at a theater or something and just relax for a couple hours. There doesn't have to be an outcome because your body needs to decompress as much as it needs to be active and get things done. So make sure you're balancing everything out. So some of you may have dealt with a recent death or loss in the family. There may have also been a big change in your life. This is a beautiful death rebirth card, and I like the fact that the emphasis on this is on rebirth. So as an aspect of your life and your personality, whatever's going on right now, this is a chance for you to take stock and to jumpstart your life, to start again. really focus on the rebirth. If there's been a loss, whatever it is, allow that to be a moment of, yeah, it's like a wake-up call to give you context for what's going on right now. But it doesn't have to define your moment. So what I see is that affecting you into the first and second week of the month, but after that, things start to settle down a little bit. When I check into your ego card here, we have the Hierophant. Hierophant is a card that is, guess what, structures, and I'm challenging you to break your structures, which is probably part of the reason that I got that death and rebirth card. But with this, you could create new habits in your life that give you a sense of happiness, fulfillment, and structure. One thing that I want you to really work on this month is focusing on negative thoughts. Trying to release them, that is, not to actually cultivate them. But what you want to be mindful of is either thoughts where you're thinking, you know, why isn't this happening, or why can't I do this? This is something that I've seen across many signs this month. And what you could do, because the Ace card when it comes to swords is about expression, so you could write some of this down. You could also, this is a very cathartic thing, you could write a letter to someone that you're never going to send, that you simply intend to close and delete or rip it up. But if you need to get some of the words out and you just know that if I don't say this, it's going to drive me nuts, type a letter, not in your email because you don't want to accidentally send it, but type it up in a word processor, or just use a piece of paper and get everything that you need to get out, then rip it up and put it in the trash can or shred it. Sometimes we just need to exorcise those emotions, or you could talk to a friend or to a therapist, but there's a need to get rid of some of this baggage that you're carrying. The other thing is you could, if you're open to this, you could go and get a massage, or you could have somebody help work some of the energy out, because I am feeling like that you're holding on to some of the energy. So an expression. Dance is also good. If you're younger and you want to just sort of get out and have fun with friends, even if you're older, you should be dancing at all ages, really. Whatever age you are, get out, enjoy, and move your body. I think that's really key. So exercise, dance, and writing, these are all great ways to release the energy that you're holding on to. Okay, as I'm looking at your hopes and fears, we have the Queen of Wands card in reverse. There's a little bit of a tendency this month for you to get stubborn. That's the best word I can use. So I want you to step back, and when you get set in your ways, remember my channeled information, which was to change your routine. So if you can't change your mind, change the habits around you a little bit. One change helps create many, many other changes, and before you know it, you're kind of like this phoenix here and you're taking off. So small steps. And even if there's something big in your life that you want to let go of or move on from, because the death card can mean ending something. So if you want to end a habit in your life, perhaps it's, you know, it can be drinking, smoking, eating, whatever you're doing too much of, this is a chance to let go of it. And you can start with one small change. You don't have to do everything at once, but one step in that direction is going to be very, very helpful. If you can take some sort of a small trip, this would be a perfect month to do it, even if it's just for a day. You know, I mentioned if you're in a warmer climate and you can get to the water, that's great. If you're in a cooler climate, you can still go hiking, or you could still just make sure that you're outside in nature, run around in the snow with your dog or something like that. But I really want you to try to separate yourself a little bit, if you can, from your place of work and your home. It would be great to have a change of scenery as well. The Eight of Cups card can be a short-term travel card. It's also a card of connecting with someone from the past. And for some of you, these two cards indicate a short but not permanent breakup. So maybe you've decided to take a sabbatical from work, or you're in a relationship and you're deciding that it's time to just take a break to see where your feelings are, etc. The Eight of Cups is a promising card. It shows the ability to come back if you choose to, so that's good. It can be especially good for a work situation, because if you decide to quit, you could leave the door open for freelance work, etc. The other thing with the Eight of Cups card is it's a sort of soul-searching card. So if there's something that you've always wanted to find out about yourself, or there's something you've always wanted to do, this card is coming through and asking you, why not now? This is a great time to do it. Okay, so I think we've covered all of the cards in the main spread. Let's now expand the forecast and look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We'll begin with your health card. Health encompasses your mind, body, and spirit. So let's see what the message is today for health. This card wants to come through. And we have an affirmation. If there's something that you've been wanting to change in your life, now is the time to do it. This is also a card that is about positivity. So knowing that like attracts like, not just in who you pull into your life, but also what you're experiencing in your body. So if you are in a higher frequency and a higher state of mind, your body tends to be able to keep up with that. If you tend to go to the lower emotions, then you also start to feel either aches and pains, or you might be carrying more weight, or there might be other things. You tend to go to the lower frequency. So I want you to go higher in your thoughts and in your emotions, and then your body will start to get healthier and start to catch up with that. So emotions are a big part of that. Obviously, you can't just snap a finger and feel happy, but we mentioned some ways where you could divert your attention. One is through going to social activities, parties, celebrations. Another one is by getting out into nature, whatever the climate and whatever your sort of comfort level is with being outside. And the other one is to exercise gratitude for all of the great things that are coming through for you. These things will change one step at a time your emotions until by the end of the month you feel like a new person and you're like this phoenix rising from the ashes. All right, let's look at your wealth card. I'm using a Lord Ganesha deck this month because I believe we can all overcome whatever is happening in our financial situations, or we can improve it. And Ganesha is all about overcoming obstacles. So one of my favorite deities. Okay, we have a protection card. So this is a great time for you to take a closer look at your finances. So one thing that this could absolutely equate to is, have you gone through and set up the little alert things that happen with your credit card and your checking account in case someone is, fraudulently using your card, or if there's anything that's unexpected that you didn't see, some charges that come up, etc. This is a way for you to protect yourself. So that's one thing. The other thing is just to exercise good common sense in how you're sharing your financial information. And the third thing is to make sure that your will is up to date, that any beneficiaries on accounts have been updated according to, changes in your family, etc. So just look at protection as a 360-degree thing, from common sense to online activities to also looking at legal documents. It's a good month to take stock. All right, let's look at your love card. This shows all types of relationships in your life, but of course it can be romantic. Let's see what the cards have to say about that. And so we have focus on love. And this is really hearkening back to what I was saying earlier, which is the higher your frequency of thought, the more you are going to attract the same thing. So like attracts like. If you believe you are lovable and you're ready to love, love comes knocking on the door. If you believe that nobody's going to love you, or that you have bad luck, you tend to attract situations that affirm what you believe. It's a weird phenomenon, but I want to challenge you to be optimistic this month, and at the very least focus on being happy with yourself, because that's a win-win. Don't worry so much about other people. You really have to love yourself, your situation, your life first. Then other people can fall in love with how you are, how you emanate that feeling of contentment and love. Now let's look at your destiny card. I've been saying it throughout all of the readings. I love this because this is your free will card as well. If you're happy with your current trajectory, stay with it. If not, this is your chance to course correct. Perception. And I love this card because it really speaks to what we were talking about right at the center of this, which is the Four of Cups. This is a different way to express the Four of Cups. Essentially what we're saying here with the runes card, or this perception card, is that if you look at a situation as being there for your growth, for your improvement, for your own fulfillment, then it's no longer something that is an affront or that is sort of attacking you. Everything you've lined up is actually for your benefit, like some sort of cosmic PhD that you've created for your life. So I want you to take a second look at all of the events that are happening in your life right now and realize that some of them are actually blessings in disguise, and this can help you with your gratitude exercise that I talked about earlier. So a little bit of homework here. I haven't given any homework in a long time, but I really want you to practice that gratitude journal or daily gratitude affirmation. And then as you do that, see if what we're seeing in the Destiny card doesn't happen. If you don't start to look at things differently. Runes are like cards. You see patterns in them. And so I want you to kind of look into your life and see if you also see patterns, and you can assign new values. It's almost like you're rewriting your own dictionary of your life. And some things that you used to see as a problem, now you realize that's why it happened, and you can let go of it and you can move on. So you can put yourself in a place of empowerment, which is great. Let's go ahead now and review everything that we talked about. Your channeled information was to start changing your routine in small ways this month. And the main reason I want you to do that is because it's going to help you start to make bigger changes when you need to. Your catalyst card was to really watch your communication and how others are communicating to you. And also don't read too much into delays. Sometimes people are busy. Assume the best, reach out, get some context before you make any major assumptions. We talked at great length about the Four of Cups and how to overcome that. And what I wanted to emphasize is it feels like you're in a very good place right now. At least for the next month, it looks like you're self-sufficient and independent, which I like. And this is in regards to your resources. I see continued growth and movement and change. For some of you, this could be a big change with the Death and Rebirth card attached to that. But the fact that we have the Three of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles with this rebirth tells me it could be a very good like promotion or maybe some unexpected money for some of you as well, which could change the way you're living. For the rest of you, there could be some sort of a big shift that's happening in your life. A death, a move, or again, some other sort of life change that's requiring you to reevaluate what's important in your life. Now more than ever, friends are something that you're going to want to pull closer. You may need to create some new structures, especially if old ones fall away. Try to eliminate or to walk away from those negative thoughts. Watch your communication, like I said. You know, you're an air sign, so you know how to communicate. Just this month, it seems like emotions could get in the way. When I'm looking at the Queen of Wands card here, although this is a great card for overall management, it can also be a card that shows stubbornness. We talked about that before. Try to change one little thing at a time and see then if it doesn't get easier to change your perspective. Ultimately, what's going to also help you is to get out, to take a vacation, to get out in nature as well. We talked about that. As we expand your forecast, your health card is an affirmative card, but it's saying yes, if you want to make a change, you should do it. But yes also means stay positive. Like attracts like, so higher frequencies make your body healthier, lower frequencies bring it down. When we look at your wealth card, we talked about all the different ways you could protect yourself and also plan for the future. As far as your love card, believe that you are lovable. Love yourself, love your life first. This will call in love from others. And finally, how you perceive things are eventually how they are. So if you can perceive something that was in the past, quote unquote, bad or negative as now an opportunity or something to propel you to something else, then it becomes an asset and life becomes easier. So overall, a good month. I'm really happy that you seem to have an understanding of your resources. Create new habits. There's nothing wrong with routine, but sometimes it needs to be shaken up. That's the main thing that I want you to walk away with as well. So hopefully that gave you the guidance and information that you need for this month. But if you'd ever like more of a one-on-one appointment with me, you can absolutely set one up. If you look at the description area just below the video, you'll see a few links. The first one is, it says book now. With that, you can check my rates and availability. Likewise, if you just like what I do on the channel here and you would like to support me, there's a donation link there, and there's several ways that you can donate for as little as $1 if you'd like to. That goes a long way into making production of these videos possible, including even just buying the cards, so thank you if you'd like to contribute. If you just want to stay in touch, there's several ways to do that. You can subscribe to this channel. Remember, there are two icons. The bell icon will send you emails when I post the videos. If you really do like those emails but don't want to be a part of the YouTube/Google ecosystem, then sign up for my newsletter. I send about one per month, and I send it on the day that I post the videos. You can also join me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I also post updates there. And finally, I'd just like to thank all of you, not just for the support that you've shown to one another here and also to me, but for the growth that you're doing on yourself. My goal in doing this from month to month is to help everybody grow in not just their intuition, but I want you to grow brighter and lighter. This planet is in a place right now where it needs more luminance, it needs more light, and I hope that I can be a part of that path for you. So continue to work on yourselves. One person makes a difference. And I think if all of us can become a little bit brighter, this planet's going to be a better place to live. So thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your self-development, and I wish you all the best in love, light, and abundance. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.